everyone. Today we are going to be going over dockyard output because dockyard output can be the it can be the difference between a multiplayer campaign, whether you win or lose against your opponent. Germany against Britain, Italy against Britain, Japan against America, America against the entirety of the Axis, Britain against the entirety of the Axis. It doesn't matter. Um, Dockyard output is insane. Okay, so why is it insane? Well, to start off here, we're just going to explain what it is. This effectively increases the amount of work each dockyard can do per hour. What exactly does that mean? Well, if they do 100% plus 100% more work per hour, then that means they're doing double the work, which means that one dockyard is working it's doing the job of two at that point. So it is a when you see this down here, that's a soft cap. And it's a soft cap because you can have 10 factory dockyards on this, but you can still increase this. And if that goes to 100%, then that means you basically have 20 dockyards on this. Right? So that's that's why output is important. Now, if we take a look at this, we see that stability affects it. Yes, it does. So let's stab 100. Nope. Okay, I figured it out. ST 100. There we go. Now, what has that done? That has increased our output by 20%. Now, limited exports. Okay, so limited exports. Alright. If we give ourselves political power, and we go over to free trade, excuse me, we get 35%. Okay, that's a bunch of bonuses stacked up. Well, the next obvious one is going to be ROIC, research. And these are the basic things that everyone gets at the start of the game and all that. And now we got our dockyards working at 85% efficiency. Okay. So, as Japan, how do we get more? Right? That is the question. Well, there are several ways. Now, we're going to do that just so we can get rid of a large portion of the focus tree so we don't have to scroll everywhere. Now, we got dockyards here, 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 and 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's it. But if we continue the Sino-Japanese War, we get this. Modify early industrialization efforts by dockyard output plus 5%. Okay, so we grab that. Now we have 90%. Alright, cool. Is there anything else? I mean, not really. There's this one, which you have to do while you're at war. Okay, so 95%, right? Cool. But there isn't really anything more that you can do. Now, this is Japan focused here. which is great. So let's do this. Let's do boop 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 boop. Research that. SP underscore raw. Does that change anything? No. Cool, cool, cool. Grab that. And now we have a influential naval faction. And it will take a bit more time for us to reach dominating. Actually, what we can do right here is that. And we're still influential. Okay. Yeah, we just have to wait. Okay, so we managed to get the naval faction dominated without doing it. It is now July. Now, we have... okay, so naval faction, army faction. Naval faction, we get these bonuses, and we can get those up to 10% each. Why are they not 10% each? Because the difference between the naval faction and the army faction is not as great. The difference is not as great as it could be. So let's do that. And okay. Amazing. We still need another few. Okay. Okay, we finally got the army faction subdued. Now this is the next thing that will allow us to get more ships. And specifically to compete with the U.S. Navy. S stability 100%. There we go. At war. Who are we at war with? Ah. Annex. Mong. Tam. Okay. No longer at war. Cool. Alright. There we go. Now, in order for this to happen, the army faction has to go down and the naval faction has to go up. Naval faction has to be dominating. You have to keep the naval faction dominating. Otherwise, your production cost will go up. The Navy fuel consumption is also very important because you are an island nation with very little resources to actually go around. Ugh. You are not like Great Britain, who is absolutely filthy rich in steel and coal. Next. So we have 95. Okay, cool. Next thing is this again. So this allows a Myo trait to be initiated. Alright, cool. What is that Myo trait? What does it do? Go over here. Nearly all the Myos have this. 10% production output. Now that is dockyard output. I mean, it's basically the same thing. It just, you know, works a little bit differently. And you also have this, so you can indeed do those two and continue on, which is great. So apply that to the designer you're going to be using the most. I use the, well, the designer that I just showed you. The next thing that we can do is bit convoluted. Okay, so FF, we're going to go down here and we're going to do guide the Zaibatsus, or however you pronounce it. That reduces the time by 35 days for those focuses. You can see them right there. Then we go over, down, and we approach Mitsubishi. This gives us an advisor and an industrial concern. We're going to choose Mitsubishi. Before Mitsubishi, our thing is at 100%. Why is that 100%? I believe... modify early mobilization efforts, industrialization efforts by dockyard output plus 5%. Okay, so I forgot that one. But we gain access using that focus to Mitsubishi, and we are at 100% now. That gives us another 5%, so that's 105%. On top of that, we also get the Mitsubishi president. Now, he is important because he can be upgraded. Mitsubishi president. You see that? So, factory output and dockyard output. Cool. Alright, so how do we upgrade him? Well, various Mitsubishi designer companies, such as, not here, such as Mitsubishi Aircraft Industries, Mitsubishi Submarine Shipyard, and the easiest to do, Mitsubishi Heavy Industries, all have this thing. Now, this takes the Mitsubishi president and upgrades him dramatically. You see that upgrade down at the bottom there? He gains Mitsubishi president, factory output, dockyard output 100%, or 10%, not 100. So how do you get that? Well, you gotta get him over current size more than 5. You gotta get him a policy, essentially. That's easy enough to do. Now, why the heavy tank designer instead of Mitsubishi aircraft designers? Well, aircraft designers, you have all sorts of shit that you gotta do first, and the aircraft, I mean, it's, you want all of the things that you get down here to be buffs for your aircraft. The tank designer is okay, so you want that because you get so little points throughout the game for Mitsubishi Aircraft Industries that you don't really have a surplus. When it comes to your tanks, once you get your production bonuses, and then what else are you going to do, right? So you do that, and then you get your policy, you get your armor, and then okay, well, the world is your oyster at that point. You get your armor and all that, and you're good. The submarine manufacturer, it's the same thing that happens with Mitsubishi aircraft. So it's recommended to go for the tanks, especially because you don't produce very many tanks, and unless you're going for a tank centric strategy, it doesn't really matter for you. So let's add funds. And we go after Mitsubishi here, and boom, and boom, and boom. Boom, 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 boom. Let's just modify him all the way. Do we want reliability? Basically. Speed. Armor. Okay. 28 armor. Cool. Cool, 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 cool. Alright. So, he has now been upgraded. How much do we got now? 115. And that's combined with all the other bonuses that we get. So let's take a look at all of these. So, boom, that's 5% right there. Boom, 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 boom. Boom. And piercing. Piercing is the thing that gives us lots of stuff. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, and then cool naval arsenal. We don't really need range. Weather penalty could be good. Production cost. And then we have nothing more to do for this. Why is it up there? Boom, 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 boom. Nope, nope. There we go. Boom, 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 boom. Doo-doo. Okay, and this is production output. Max range or something else. Weather penalty for, I mean, yeah, weather penalty for carriers. That's a good one. Then here, this is a great one because it decreases your visibility here. Carrier screens, visibility, boom, 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 boom. And then we do space efficient design for this one. Cool, great, awesome. And we get roughly the same bonuses. And then escort shipbuilders, boom, 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 boom. Oh, whoops. Go for aircraft, anti-aircraft here. That's a better one. Boom, 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 boom. And then, I mean, we're not really looking to make these things cheap by any means at this point. So let's go for range. That is a great thing for screens. Now, it is worth noting that this thing with this gives you a massive 25%. Not that they would, I mean, production cost. Okay, so yeah, our production cost is barely getting by because of the thing that we did that got rid of minus 25% of our range. So that would give us 20. And then this, I mean, this would also give us 25. This I mean, production output cost. I don't know what the difference between those two are. I just kind of conflate them with one stat. So that's like 25 or 15% production output, and that would be 25, so whatever. And then down here, that's 25 again if we do the thing. And down here, this one is actually going to be the thing, so we'll do all of this stuff. And now we have 20 production output. Now, that's not as much as all of these, but this is the best designer. So, it is the best designer because your visibility is maxed out in the low end, which is great for combat because it makes it harder for them to shoot you. If you are not visible, then or if it's difficult to pinpoint your location or how far away, then you get hit less. So that's great. We could actually even do that one, and that would reduce our cost here. But, I mean, this is going to be used on a lot of capital ships, as well as a lot of screens. So let's just do Great Sea Keeping. Boom. And then, of course, we want to reduce visibility here, so boom, 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 boom. Range, speed, range, attack, visibility, production output, and then, what do we want here? Reliability, production output, weather, max range. I mean, yeah, we'll go for max range because range is key. So yeah, we have 35% range. I mean, it's the Pacific, right? We're Japan. So yeah. Our production output here, 20% actually. So it would give you the most if you did it for your submarines, but you already produce submarines fairly fast, so whatever. Yeah, I mean, rating shipbuilders, most of your ships are going to be this, so, and, surface visibility minus 20%. Yeah, like, that's great for capital ships and all the other ships. Screens, minus 10%, and submarines, minus 10%. Okay. 19%. Okay. Excuse me. So, excellent one. And you want to get as many ships using this out. This one is also, an excellent one for carriers. Because if you look here, we get minus 15% to surface visibility. That's fucking amazing. 10% here, 10% here. So yeah, it would be useful here as well. And these are obviously the two best ones because they make your ships harder to shoot. The harder your ships are to shoot, the less they get sunk. The less you get sunk, the less that gets sunk, the less you need to replace. The less you need to replace, the more you can put into your fleet. The more you can put into the fleet, the better it's going to be in terms of, combating your enemy. We're Japan, so I go over to the US. Now, there are a few other bonuses here that we can still grab. One is here. Cool. Now, we do have to be at war, so let's allow diplo. Boom. And they haven't formed a. They have. Okay. Okay. Let's just declare war. And now that we are at war, we have access to them. So, last video we discussed this thing, but what we are looking for is not that. What we are looking for is this one. 3%. Cool. That gives us a bunch more. Let's see. XP. Can we get our stability back up? Political loyalty. Let's do boom, 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 boom. Cool. So now we should have a metric fuck ton. Alright. The last one is even more convoluted. So we have to go for New Order in East Asia. That gives us a faction. We get Change Manifesto of New Order of New Order in East Asia to Strategic Resource Control. Boom. Question of Co-Prosperity Sphere. This gives us repair speed, dockyard, local resources. That one's better. And now what do we got? Okay, so it hasn't gone up, but there seems to be something in here that gives us dockyard output. Where is it? Hold on. Aha! Strategic Resource Control. I don't know what that means. Okay, so I'm going to test something. Let me see. Alright, so we just annexed Indonesia. Okay. Okay, what? Annex Siam. Mal. Raj. Chi. Phil. Burma. Yun. Okay. So, yeah, I don't know. I just annexed absolutely everything. And I don't actually know what I need and what I don't, because it seems like the thing just goes up and up and up and up and up until it's finished. So, given that in one of my previous saves I had all of it, I believe it was this one, load. Almost all of it, I suppose. 8.04%. Does that? Yeah, see, it goes up the longer you hold the strategic resources, air quotes. And ST100, there you go. Yeah, so it seems like all you need is the Southern Resources Zone. And we've upgraded him. What have we not done here? This one. Roik. Gives us 10, but we're missing somewhere, someplace, somehow. .54, 56, 61. Why? Strategic resource control. Is that because of the rating? If I ended the war, would that do it? Like, that seems to be it. But that's the last one. That's the last one. I mean, you might be able to do more control over the resources by getting more resources? I don't know. I don't know how that mechanic works, but that's the last one. And as you can see in the other save, we were able to get like 128. Which is insanity. Yep, 128. And open. Ah, okay, so something happened and now it's all the way up to 128. Yeah. Alright. This is a 32-minute video. I didn't plan on it taking that long, but I think I showed you everything I could possibly show you to get this up and all your capital ship, well, not necessarily just capital ship, but all your ship production up and online. So, have a nice day, everyone, and I'll see you later.